So we've simulated what it's like to pet a goat, what it's like to be in a room, even what it's like to drink soda, but this is strange, a duck simulation. I don't even know what these kind of games are about, and I have two reviews for you today. One will be a review of Duck Sim 2008, and the other will be of a later game, a Duck Sim 2014. And of course, based on the fact that that later game will be 6 years older, I mean 6 years younger, I'm gonna be looking for better graphics, more ducks, and things of that nature. But before we judge Duck Sim 2014, let's judge Duck Sim 2008 and see if this game's any good. Let's just do a live review and play it right now. Alright, so I'm enjoying the music. Okay, pretty good music. I guess I am this duck, so it's kind of a third-person perspective. Now, when we played the tree simulator, what I really enjoyed is the fact that you actually were the tree. It was a first-person perspective of a tree. You didn't move like a tree doesn't move, and you just saw the forest through the eyes of a tree. In Duck Simulator, I don't like the fact that I'm not looking at this beautiful world through the duck's perspective. I would appreciate if I was actually looking over yonder that way, to the left, whatever the duck is seeing there. But we're looking at the duck, so it's not even a duck simulator. It's more like a looking at a duck simulator, or at the very least, the very most, I should say, a third-person perspective duck simulation. But if you're going to make a third-person game, you have to make it from behind the duck, not to the side. The camera is all... It's weird. It's a weird camera system in the game, so I do take off points for that. But I do enjoy the world. I think the world is beautiful. It's very well rendered, for 2008 at least. And I really enjoy this fantastic music. I mean, this is RPG quality music. And let me see the controls here. I guess if I click the screen... The duck ducks. So it's not just a duck simulator, it's a duck simulator. Because you are also simulating the duck ducking. So it's like it's double the simulation almost. So I think that's pretty cool. Now what I worry about is, I know that for a fact ducks are, well, okay, not for a fact, but I'm pretty sure ducks are birds. And I know that most birds, or at least 60% of birds, cannot breathe water. So I don't know what happens if you keep the duck's head under the water for too long. I hope it doesn't die. But then at the same time, if it does die, that's a realistic simulation, because ducks do in fact need oxygen. Overall, I mean, I like the fact that it's two sims in one, a ducking simulation and a duck simulator, and also the fact that it's a beautiful world and has great music. I just don't like the third-person perspective, so I take points off for that. Duck Sim 2008 gets an official Stan Birdman rating of a 9.7 out of 10. Now let's go ahead and check out Duck Sim 2014 and see if they improved on the original classic. So here's Duck Sim 2014, and in the comments section I actually just noticed that the creator of the game was inspired by Duck Simulator 2008, so I'm pretty sure it's not even made by the same person. This is basically a fan-made game, which obviously I'm not going to expect too much from a fan-made game, but let's just see. I mean, the fact that it's a game from, 2014, I feel like the graphics should be improved. Maybe, they could work on some things, even though it is kind of an amateur fan-made, basically homage to the original classic Duck Sim 2008. So let's try it out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the shadow. I like the fact that now the duck has a shadow. That's pretty cool. I don't remember if the duck had a shadow in the last game. If it did, it was probably just DLC. Typically, games from 2008, especially duck-based games, don't really have shadows. I mean, for younger people, you don't understand. It wasn't a necessity back then. We enjoyed games without duck shadows. A lot of bird games basically didn't have shadows. Like I remember playing a chicken simulator, and there was literally no shadow. I mean, even if the sun was shining right at the chicken, there was no shadow. And this was like back in 2007, so it's not that long ago. But I guess the younger people, they're not used to bird games not having shadows. So, but yeah, it's good that this does have a shadow. Most bird games today do have shadows. The background, I'm not enjoying it. I feel like the old background wasn't as graphically advanced, but it had that cool, homey, retro vibe, that really pulled on your heartstrings. This is just, it's great graphics, but it's all flash. And let's see the controls here. I'm assuming this duck can also duck. Yep. I also like the fact that it's kind of a zoomed in duck, so we're really close up on the duck. This is more like third person. But still from the side, but still, the fact that we're this close to the duck, it's it's pretty third person. This is as third person as a Duck Simulator basically gets. I would still prefer maybe Duck Sim 2015 or 2016 to have a first person, not a third person view of the duck. But overall, this is a good fan-made game. It's not as good as the original, but it's okay. It gets an official Stan Birdman rating of a 9.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.